Today we are back again with the topic of child development in pedagogy. Now this is a common topic for both paper 1 and paper 2. Now this topic deals with the three important act which has been undertaken by the state as well as the central government to promote the education, the basic elementary education to the students among all the levels in both rural and urban areas. So the three acts are RT, Mid Day Meal, and Sarva Shiksha Abhijan. The first we are going to talk about this RTE Act. So from this diagram we can see this RTE Act have came into existence on 2009, and this is a very important act because it lays the key foundation of our education to be promoted among all the students, be it in rural areas, be it in urban areas. And they have been trying, the central government has been trying to promote this education and at least deliver the basic elementary education to the students at all the levels. The first we're going to talk about some of the features of the RTE Act, that is when it came into existence, when it has been came into effect, and the which of the states have been not under this RTE Act. The first is that the RTE, what the word RTE Act means to us. The RTE is a free and compulsory education act, and this has been proposed on 4th August 2009, but this has came into existence on 1st April 2010. So this in 2010, more or less each and every state has been accepted the free and compulsory education except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Now why I am telling is that it's a very important act. Now this, there are some key foundations and about this act. The first is that it promotes free and compulsory education up to class 8 to all the and every child in the central schools, in the state schools, and the schools which have been proposed by the state government. So this is a free and compulsory education will be promoted to the students. It also emphasizes on the development of the scholastic and co-scholastic areas. It lays down the norms and the standard relationships between the pupil-teacher ratio, the classrooms. It also lays foundation that there should be a separate toilet facilities for both the girls and the boys in the co-ed schools, the proper drinking water facility, the number of school working days, working hours of the teachers. Each and every elementary schools, that is in primary and middle schools in India, has to comply with this minimum standard states by this RTE Act. The next, it has been also told about there will be no physical punishment and mental harassment will be done by the teacher to the students. Moreover, the teacher should not make any discrimination on the basis of gender, caste, class, religion, and the screening procedure for the admission of the children. As caption for the free, the that is free allowances is disallowed, and the private tuition by the teachers on that school is not allowed. Schools should be recognized in order to avail this all these benefits. Third, it discuss about the teacher about about this no private no children can be held or expelled back up to class 8. So there is no condition of pass and fail. Every student who will appear the exam will automatically pass this on that semester. Now there are several other premises on it, that is that it mandate that no child can be held back and expelled, and this system has been done up till class 8. Now this act has mandated the continuous and comprehensive evaluation method to ensure the great appropriate learning outcome. It has been also backed up by the grievances redressal mechanism that gives opportunity to the pupil to take actions and against this non-compliance of the various provisions of the act. This up till here we have to learn about this RTE Act. So from here the questions come that like when this RTE Act has been proposed, which state has been exempted from this act, and from when this procedures, like when it has been accepted by all the states. Now all these features you just need to know about it. Sometimes the question may not come, but one important question is that these norms which have been stated by the teacher for the teachers and the students about the ratio, the drinking water facilities and other environmental conditions that has to be present in the school. And the last one, right, tells us about the students up till class 8 cannot be held back and cannot be expelled. The next we're going to talk about the next program, which is a midday meal program. So this midday meal program is a school meal program of the government of India, which has been designed to improve the nutritional status of the school age children in the nationwide. This is a program in the world and supplies a free lunches for the working days for the children in the primary sections and upper primary class in the government and the government aided school. So under this program, the Supreme Court has been dated on the this Supreme Court has passed this order for this midday meal program on 28th November and it's on 2011. But this covered by this National Food Security Act on the year 2013. Now, what this requires is that all the government and the government assisted primary schools, government aided school had to provide cooked midday meals. Now, what is the purpose of this? The prime and the sole purpose is that every student should get the proper nutritional values. The food the students will be provided from the school, that food contains all the nutritional proportions that a student needed for its growth. So this is a prime and solo purpose. And another is important one, it will promote or it will encourage the students to come to school, at least learn up till the elementary sections, learn what has been taught in the school. It will also promote elementary education to the students. So these are the two primary purpose. Now the next we are going to talk about that the meals, I have already said that the meals has to be cooked on the site by the local cooks or the helpers and the self-help groups. So this is the indirect help given to the self-help groups when they are giving employment to some of the sections of the society who are getting this permanent job on cooking the food for the students. It also allows monitoring by the teachers, and the quality and nutritive values needs to be monitored on a regular basis in order to check that the students already has received the proper nutritional foods. The next we are going to talk about the Sarva Shiksha Abhijan. So this is a very common topic which we know. So what this Sarva Shiksha Abhijan, this term denotes, it's an universalization of education, is the most fundamental and promising scheme on this government of India. So the program has been initiated at an early stage on 2000 to 2001 as a flagship program of the government of India. So the scheme aims to provide useful and relevant in elementary education for all the children in the age group between 6 to 14 years by 2010, and it aims to bridge between a social and regional gender gaps with active participation of the community in the management of the schools. We also endeavored to provide an opportunity for improving the human capabilities for all the children and through the provisions of the community owned quality education in a mission mode. So these are all they have to know, and from here you just need to know that this has been a program which has been conducted on the 2000 to 2001, and this aimed for the students to deliver the elementary education up for the age group of 6 to 14 years by 2010. The next we are going to learn about some of the main features which deals that the program with a clear time frame for the universal elementary education. It responds to the demand of the quality basic education all over the country. It is an opportunity for providing the social justice through the basic education. It is an expression of the political will for universal elementary education across the country, and it has been under the partnership of the central, state and the local government. With this we have